The most dangerous people are not enemies. They are familiar faces who twist the truth, use your kindness, and pretend you never helped them. Some people don't betray you loudly. They smile, stay close, and quietly hope you fail. These are the people you should never trust. Not everyone who stands next to you is on your side. Some secretly compete with you, blame others for their failures, and vanish when you need them most. This is how to identify them. If you click away or scroll past this video, you're not just missing advice. You're missing the chance to finally see clearly why you keep ending up drained, disappointed, and surrounded by people who take more than they ever give. You're missing the chance to find out if you are a people pleaser, if you've been trained your whole life to tolerate disrespect, and what that is quietly costing you in mental health, time, and self-respect. By the end of this video, you will not only know the red flags of people you should never trust, you'll understand how to step back, how to set boundaries, and how to protect the most valuable thing you have, your peace. Before we go further, let me ask you something directly. How many times have you told yourself, next time I'll be smarter? Next time I won't let someone use me like that again, only to find yourself repeating the same pattern with a different face? Maybe you're that person everyone calls when they need a favor, a loan, emotional support at 2 a.m., a last-minute rescue. But when you're the one falling apart, your phone goes silent. If that feels uncomfortably familiar, don't look away. This is the part of your life most people never examine until it's too late. They wake up one day exhausted, bitter, surrounded by people who don't clap when they win, don't show up when they're hurting, and don't remember a single thing they did for them. If you stay until the end, you will start to see patterns you can't unsee. And once you see them, you'll never relate to people the same way again. Let's start with a simple, brutal truth. Your biggest heartbreaks, your deepest betrayals, almost never come from strangers. Strangers can hurt you, yes, but they can't betray you. Betrayal requires access. It requires shared history, shared trust, shared vulnerability. The knife that cuts deepest is the one handed to someone you thought would protect you. So when we talk about people you should never trust, we're not talking about obvious villains. We're talking about the friend who always has a reason why nothing is their fault. The sibling who laughs a little too hard when you fail. The colleague who calls you family but competes with you in secret. The partner who rewrites arguments so that somehow, no matter what happened, you are always the one to blame. If you've been conditioned to be a people pleaser, to fix, to tolerate, to make excuses, these people are drawn to you like a magnet. And if you leave this video, you might keep mistaking their dysfunction for your duty. So let's begin with the first kind, the ones who always blame others for their setbacks. These are the people who never take responsibility. Life happens to them, never through them. They lost the job because their boss was jealous. Their last 5 relationships ended because all their exes were crazy. They didn't meet a deadline because you didn't remind them, even though it wasn't your responsibility. Listen carefully. Someone who refuses to own their failures will eventually make you the villain in their story. It's only a matter of time. They blame everyone else, compete instead of support, and rewrite history to protect their ego. Once you see these signs, you can't unsee them. The red flag isn't just that they complain, it's that they never ask themselves, what was my part in this? You'll notice they're energized by gossip, by drama, by telling stories in which they are the misunderstood hero and everyone else is the problem. At first, it might sound harmless. You might even feel special because they trust you enough to share. But pay attention. If they talk about everyone this way, they will eventually talk about you this way. If they never sit in discomfort, never say, I was wrong, then every conflict will be twisted until it lands back on your shoulders. The healthiest way to relate to someone like this is with distance. You can be polite, you can be civil, but do not give them front row access to your life. Do not overshare. Do not become their unpaid therapist. Because the day you set a boundary, they won't say, maybe I crossed a line. They will say, you changed, you're selfish, you're the problem. And if you are a people pleaser, that accusation can control you like a leash. Then there are the ones who secretly want you to lose. They won't say it out loud, that would ruin the image. They might call you bro, sis, bestie, day one. They'll be there for the pictures, the parties, the surface-level congratulations. But watch their eyes when you talk about something that's going well. Notice the microsecond delay before they say, "I'm happy for you." Notice the way the conversation suddenly shifts back to them, or to something negative, or to subtle reminders of your past mistakes. Some people don't want you to lose openly. They want to watch you fall quietly while pretending to support you. These are the ones you must avoid. This is envy wearing a mask. They aren't just insecure. They are invested in your smallness because your growth forces them to face their own stagnation. They might forget to tell you about opportunities. They might downplay your achievements. It's not that big a deal. Lots of people do that. They might joke, "Don't get too big-headed," when you're just trying to be proud of your hard work. The red flag is not the joke itself, it's the pattern. You leave interactions with them feeling smaller, doubting yourself, second-guessing your wins. If someone loves you, your expansion doesn't threaten their existence. They may feel their own insecurities, but they won't punish you for shining. With these quiet saboteurs, the safest approach is emotional detachment. You don't have to fight with them. You don't have to expose them dramatically. Just stop feeding them your dreams. Stop handing them the privilege of witnessing your growth. Let them see the headlines, not the behind the scenes. There's another group that looks similar, but their behavior is more active. Those who always compete instead of supporting. At first, this might look like motivation. They say things like, "You got 80? Nice. I got 82 though." Or, "You got a promotion? Cool. I'm aiming for director." Competition isn't always toxic. In healthy relationships, friends push each other, challenge each other, grow together. But here's the difference. Do they compete with your progress or do they celebrate it? When you share good news, do they ask questions, show curiosity, or do they immediately bring up something better they did? When you're struggling, do they sit with you in the pain, or do they start listing the ways they had it worse? For them, life is not a shared journey, it's a scoreboard. And every time you win, they feel like they're losing. Watch how people act when you succeed, when you struggle, and when they no longer need you. Those moments reveal who you should never trust. The red flag is this: you never feel fully seen because everything becomes a mirror for their ego. Their support has conditions. They're okay with you rising as long as you don't rise higher than them. If you're a people pleaser, you'll try to shrink yourself to keep them comfortable, downplay your wins, minimize your talent, even sabotage your own progress so they don't feel threatened. Ask yourself, why are you making yourself smaller to protect someone else's insecurity? The healthiest way to deal with relentless competitors is this: stop playing their game. Don't justify. Don't compare. Don't argue about who has it harder or who is more successful. Step out of the invisible contest. Real friends don't need you to lose so they can feel like they're winning. Now we move to a darker trait: those who twist the truth just to win an argument. This is more than simple defensiveness. This is manipulation. Maybe you've experienced this. You bring up something that hurt you calmly. You say, "When you said that in front of everyone, I felt disrespected." Instead of hearing you, they shift the conversation. Suddenly, the problem isn't their behavior. It's your sensitivity, your tone, your overreaction. Events get rewritten mid-conversation. Things you remember clearly are denied. "I never said that. You're imagining things. You're crazy, that's not how it happened." Over time, you stop trusting your own memory, your own perception. You start thinking, maybe I really am too much. Maybe I am the problem. This isn't just unfair, it's psychologically dangerous. This is how gaslighting works. They can't tolerate being wrong, so they rewrite reality. They make you doubt yourself just so their ego can stay untouched. The ones who do this frequently are some of the most dangerous to trust, because they attack the very foundation of your sanity, your sense of what is real. If they twist stories now just to win petty arguments, imagine what they will say about you when you're not around. Imagine how they'll retell your generosity, your sacrifices, your shared history. They will cast themselves as saint, and you as ungrateful, crazy, unstable, selfish. Again, they blame everyone else, compete instead of support, and rewrite history to protect their ego. Once you see these signs, you can't unsee them. With people like this, you must be incredibly careful. Keep receipts if you must. Trust patterns over promises. Limit emotional intimacy. And in some cases, the only sane boundary is distance, not because you're unforgiving, but because you refuse to live in someone else's distorted version of reality. Then there's the silence that hurts more than any insult. Those who disappear when you are in trouble. These people look loyal when times are good. They're there for the fun, the food, the events, the selfies. They say, "You know I got you," when there's nothing real to get. But when things fall apart, when you lose the job, when your relationship ends, when your mental health crumbles, when you need actual support, they vanish. Messages left unread, weak excuses. "Sorry, I've just been so busy. I didn't know what to say." Maybe you've excused it in the past. Maybe you've told yourself, everyone's going through something. But remember this, everyone is going through something when they need you, and somehow you still show up. If someone only shows up when they need something, disappears when you're struggling, and resents your success, that's not coincidence. That's a warning. Presence in your lowest moments is one of the purest tests of character. You don't need a crowd, you just need consistency. Someone who claims you loudly in public but cannot stand with you quietly in private is not loyal, they're just performing friendship. If you are a chronic giver, here's where the truth cuts. You may be surrounding yourself with people who love your help, not your humanity. You've taught them that your time, your energy, your emotional labor are all free. You've trained them to believe that you will understand their absence, even when it breaks you. How do you relate to people like this going forward? You stop calling it loyalty when it's actually fear of being alone. You stop investing in people who only know the joyful chapters of your story and vanish during the painful ones. You don't have to be cruel, but you must be honest. If someone is repeatedly absent in your storms, they don't deserve front row seats in your sunshine. Now look at the ones who are kind only when they want something from you. At first, they feel like the most charming people you've ever met. They compliment you. They listen. They mirror your interests. They make you feel special. But over time, a pattern emerges. Every wave of kindness is followed by a request, a favor, a loan, a connection, your time, your skills. And if you say no or even hesitate, the warmth fades. The messages get colder. The interest disappears. Real kindness is consistent. It's not a performance with a hidden invoice attached. If someone only shows up when they need something, disappears when you're struggling, and resents your success, that's not coincidence. That's a warning. The red flag is conditional affection. They are sweet when they need you, distant when they don't, and irritated when you set limits. This is transactional love dressed as friendship. And if you've been raised to believe your worth comes from being useful, helpful, nice, these people can drain you for years. You'll tell yourself that's just how they are, while your own life goals and energy are being quietly consumed. To deal with them, you must practice something deeply uncomfortable for a people pleaser: saying no without over-explaining. Observe what happens when you stop being convenient. Who stays? Who gets angry? Who ghosts you? Their reactions tell you everything. Remember, you are not unkind for refusing to be used. Self-respect is not cruelty. There is one more group that cuts especially deep. Those who benefited from you, but act as if you never did anything for them. These are the people you carried, sometimes for years. You lent them money when no one else would. You gave them a place to stay when they had nowhere to go. You introduced them to people, opened doors, helped them emotionally, practically, materially. In some cases, you may have delayed your own healing, your own goals, just to make space for them. But when they reach a better place, when they get stable, successful, confident, the story changes. Suddenly, their success is all because of their hard work. The nights you stayed up with them, the support you gave, the sacrifices you made, erased. They don't just forget, they pretend it never happened. Or worse, they rewrite it. I never asked you to do all that. You're exaggerating. You're trying to make me feel guilty. This is ingratitude turned into accusation. It stings not only because they're ungrateful, but because it invalidates your effort and your love. It makes you question your own memory. Did I really do that much? Am I being dramatic? If you're a people pleaser, you'll do something tragic here. You'll try to do even more just to prove that you care. That's how you get trapped. You can't force someone to be grateful, and you can't make someone honor a history they are invested in forgetting. With these people, the key is radical acceptance. Accept that they took what you gave and chose amnesia. Accept that their lack of acknowledgement doesn't erase the truth of what you did. And accept that your giving must change. Your love can remain, but your access, your resources, your energy, those must be protected from those who pretend your contribution was zero. Have you ever felt like you were living in a room full of people, yet completely alone when you truly needed someone? Have you ever looked back at a friendship or relationship and thought, how did I not see it? How did I miss all those signs? Why does nobody talk about this? Why do we glamorize loyalty and ride or die friendships, but stay silent about the quiet exhaustion of being the one who gives, forgives, and waits for a kind of support that never comes back? Part of the answer is painful. Many of us are taught from a young age to be agreeable, low maintenance, easy to love. We're rewarded for not making a fuss, for putting others first, for being mature by ignoring our own needs. That is how people pleasers are created. And people pleasers are magnets for takers, blamers, competitors, manipulators, and disappearing acts. If no one ever told you this clearly, being kind without boundaries is not kindness, it's self-erasure. Let's put all of this together. You should never trust the person who always blames others for their setbacks, because one day they will need a villain and you will be convenient. You should never trust the one who secretly wants you to lose, because they will quietly celebrate your downfall and never help you rise again. You should never trust the one who always competes instead of supporting, because their love will always be conditional on staying above you. You should never trust the one who twists the truth just to win an argument, because they care more about their ego than your reality. You should never trust the one who disappears when you're in trouble, because loyalty that only exists in sunshine is not loyalty at all. You should never trust the one who is kind only when they want something from you, because the moment you stop feeding them, they will show you their real face. And you should never trust the one who benefited from you, but acts as if you never did anything for them, because what they erased once, they will erase again. Some people don't want you to lose openly. They want to watch you fall quietly while pretending to support you. These are the ones you must avoid. Now ask yourself honestly, where in your life are these people hiding under pretty labels? Who in your circle leaves you feeling confused, small, guilty, or constantly indebted? Who only calls when they need a favor? Who minimizes your pain but amplifies theirs? Who forgets your help but never forgets your mistakes? And here's the part most people skip. Where in your own behavior do you see shadows of these patterns? Because sometimes the hardest red flag to face is the one in the mirror. Maybe you've blamed others instead of owning your choices. Maybe you've secretly resented a friend's success instead of celebrating them. Maybe you've twisted the truth in an argument, not out of evil, but out of fear of being wrong. Seeing this in yourself is not a reason for shame. It's a chance for growth. The moment you admit, yes, I've done some of this, is the moment you stop doing it unconsciously. Awareness is the first step to breaking the cycle, both in yourself and in the people you allow close. So what do you do with all of this? How do you relate to these people, or cut them off, without turning your life into constant drama? Start with this principle. You are allowed to adjust access. Not everyone who has known you must keep knowing you at the same level. History is not a contract. You can love people from afar. You can care without continuing to carry. Your boundaries will do what your words never could. They will reveal who was truly there for you and who was only there for the benefits. When you say no, when you stop over-explaining, when you stop rescuing, when you stop being endlessly available, watch what happens. Some people will be surprised, then adjust. They'll respect the new boundary, even if it's uncomfortable. Those people can stay with caution and conversation. Others will be offended, guilt-trip you, call you selfish, dramatic, ungrateful. They'll say you changed, and they're right, you did. You stopped being their silent supply. Watch how people act when you succeed, when you struggle, and when they no longer need you. Those moments reveal who you should never trust. So test this gently. Share a small win. Who celebrates without comparison? Share a small struggle. Who listens without turning it into a competition? Say a small no. Who accepts it without punishment? These 3 moments will tell you more about a person's soul than 1,000 nice words. Your job is not to fix everyone. Your job is not to convince someone to value you. Your job is to notice what people show you the first time and believe it the second time. If you've listened this far, it means part of you is tired. Tired of repeating the same painful patterns. Tired of giving endless chances to people who never truly show up. Tired of thinking maybe next time they'll be different, while nothing changes. Let this be the moment you choose something else. You don't have to cut everyone off overnight. You don't have to become cold, bitter, or closed-hearted. The goal isn't to trust no one. The goal is to trust wisely, to trust slowly, to trust based on consistent action, not pretty words or shared history, to recognize that not everyone deserves the same version of you. The most mature thing you can do is protect your inner world with the same intensity you've used to protect everyone else. And remember one more thing. You are not too much for wanting reciprocity. You are not selfish for expecting support from those you support. You are not ungrateful for noticing who disappears when you're in pain. These are not flaws. They are signs that you are finally waking up. The cost of staying asleep is high. Years wasted in one-sided relationships, chronic resentment, quiet anxiety, a life built around earning crumbs of affection from people you keep on pedestals. The gain of waking up is this: clarity, peace, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you no longer hand your loyalty to everyone who smiles at you. The people who truly love you will not resent your boundaries. They will respect them, even if it challenges them. The ones who fall away were only attached to what you gave, not to who you are. If you've made it this far, I want to know who truly understood the message. Leave the phrase, "Not everyone who stands next to you is on your side," in the comments, and let's see how many of you really grasp what it means to protect your peace and choose your circle consciously. If this video made you question something, if it made you see things from a different angle, like and subscribe, because this is just the beginning. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, trust is not proven by how loudly someone praises you in public, but by who remains gentle, honest, and present when there is nothing left to take.